Hey everybody, how's it going? Travel Man Dan here, and welcome to the weekly beer and video review show. We are so excited to get going. We have an amazing show today. And first off, before I start anything, I want to go ahead and wish you a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Today is a glorious holiday all throughout the world, and we are pumped up and excited to be here. Oh, we already see Drunatic is in the house. Jen's in the house. Please let me know where you're calling in from. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook. Go ahead. Be sure to hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know anything. I'll go ahead and try to respond. If you're new to the channel, let me tell you what we do here. We talk about beers and we review 2 delicious beers. And I got some exciting, fun ones for you today. And we go ahead and we talk about the videos that came out on my channel last week and that are coming out on my channel this upcoming week. But today is going to be even more exciting because it is the first episode where we bring a special guest in. And I got a great guest for you, a longtime friend of mine. He's got an amazing podcast, so sit back, ready for that. And we can't forget the great segments we have. Like, what would you rather? This day in history and everybody's fast becoming favorite, to eat it or not. That's right. We're going to be bringing Nate back on here, and he's got one hell of a contest in front of him. Well, I'm not really sure if it's a contest, but in order to eat this, well, he's got to be pretty willing and able for the challenge. All right, so hey, we see Robert Albanese. Welcome. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, Chris Duncan. Good to have you here, Calvin. Happy Easter. And then if you are a warm, welcoming Travel Man 025, you keep showing up. Thank you so much for your support. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's episode with today's beer. Woo! All right, who else we got in here? Yes, good morning, Doug. Happy Easter. We have Doug in the house. Welcome. And this one is going to be a fun one as I pull from the cooler. I got a really fun, and this one has a bit of a theme to it today. So, guys, we're bringing back another one of my favorite breweries, a brewery that I cannot wait to go and visit with my friends. Well, Doug is here in Los Angeles, so maybe he'll want to go with me. But this one is a lot of fun. This is a very local brewery. We've had a few beers from them before. It is in Glendale, California, which is about 20 minutes east of where I live. And I'm talking about Paperback Brewing Company. But this one is awesome. And, well, let me go ahead and show it to you. Today's first beer is called Bunny with a Chainsaw. Oh, check that out. His cuteness will cut you to pieces. All right, check it out. Oh, and he is a cute little bunny. Cute little rabbit there. Check him out. I love this label. One thing I really like about this is it's a hazy IPA, and it's double dry hopped. Whatever that means in the beer world, sounds delicious. I love dry hops. I love hazy IPAs. And this one right here, yes, Bunny with a Chainsaw. This one right here, 8.2% alcohol. So later in the show, you might have a little Popeye going on. Probably going to have a little bit of a red face. But nevertheless, we're going to be having fun and getting boozed up here on the holiday here in the United States. So let's go ahead and crack can, sniff, take, still working out some technical difficulties. Smells just the way I like it. Nice, fragrant hops. Okay, Jennifer, happy Easter. Welcome to the show. We're about to pour the first beer, and we are drinking Paperback Bunny with a Chainsaw. So what's the color going to look like? I'm guessing that because it is a hazy, it is going to be thick and chalky. Nice yellow. Look at that right there. Okay, remember, we talk about this often, that the hazy IPAs add some type of milk lactose to the beer that actually gives it its color. And it really doesn't do much for the flavor, but wow. What a beautiful beer. Check out the carbonation on that sucker. It is flowing. It is looking delicious. Away from the light, you can kind of see the tornado from the hops. You can see all the delicious bubbles bouncing to the top. It's got a bit of a, well, it's kind of like an off maize color. So a really nice looking beer. Smells very hoppy. Hello, Aquanuts. Happy Easter. Yes, Cindy, happy Easter. Welcome. All right, let's go in for a first swig. Guys, I see a bunch of people here already. Thank you so much. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, and let's go in for the first sip. Wow. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good. Wow. Oh, that's clean, crisp, really, really fragrant going down. You can taste all those hops. I love the dryness of it. It doesn't give you that weird cheeky blast that you get from IPAs. Doesn't leave that repugnant flavor going on. But I actually really like that. It's really smooth. And there is a bit of citric flow going in there. I believe it's a grapefruit. It's got a node or a hint of some other flavors. The complexity in this beer is absolutely delicious. And the first sip, we're off to a good start. This is what we're having. It is called Bunny with a Chainsaw. So glad to have you here. Oh man, this is a nice beer, and I'm pumped up, ready to go. Well, it's about time now. We wish you a happy Easter. I want to go into a couple of things, and then I'm going to bring our first guest on the show. First thing, the COVID news. Well, I got my Fauci ouchie the other day, so I am vaccinated, halfway there. I got my shots. It was a no-brainer for me. I definitely assumed to start traveling again to foreign countries, and I believe, hey, Atunami Sukanimi, yes, the beer is ice cold. Welcome to the show. And, for me, I want to go travel, and I feel like getting vaccinated is the fastest way to go ahead and, being able to travel, because border restrictions, things like that, I think that they're going to make you have a vaccination. Yes. Welcome, Frank. Yes, we have Frank in the house. So happy to see you guys here. So whether or not you do, that's your opinion. You know what? You do you. Okay, I'm just telling you because it's my show and what's going on with me. But I got my Fauci ouchie. Yes, and I'm rocking and rolling. Yes, oh yes, that is pretty funny actually. Easter. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but if you celebrate Easter, what are some of the things that you look forward to on Easter? What are some of the things that you do on Easter? For me, I grew up with a big family. I have 4 brothers and sisters, and Easter for us was always a really big family tradition. First, from the time I woke up, my dad, I'm not sure if he's here now. He's probably in the kitchen cooking. But my mom, my dad, they would always have a huge basket hidden somewhere in the house with some kind of theme to it. I was big into sports as a kid, so it was always like a big chocolate football player, if you guys remember those, or a big baseball player, or a mitt that was huge chocolate, stuffed with Cadbury eggs, jelly beans, all kinds of sugary goodies. You're either this person or you're not. To drink like every holiday night, Robert. You're either a Peeps person or you're not. I am a Peeps person. As a matter of fact, Peeps is now starting to gather other flavors, and I saw today a cotton candy Peep. So it was pink with the little blue speckles. You're not a Peeps person. Okay, so Nate Messick is not a Peeps person. That would be, he is not going to eat Peeps. I prefer Peeps. I don't like a lot of Peeps. Imagine eating 100 Peeps. Hey, Tenacious Freak, welcome. If you ate 100 Peeps, you would swell up. But we're going to get into that later. I got a fun what would you rather for you guys later. Welcome, Tenacious Freak. Just let me know down in the comments below if you celebrate Easter, maybe something that you look forward to in Easter. One thing for the traditional Easter meal that we always eat, and I'm sure he's in there right now, I'll catch myself on that word. That's probably not a word that you want to go ahead and use on the internet, although I'll say my dad is working hard at creating the Easter dinner. So he's probably got some kind of weird friggin' 30-foot ham in the oven. He probably was up at 2 a.m. the last 2 days making cabbage rolls. And if you've never had cabbage rolls, be sure to go check out my video where I stopped off at a little cafe in Lithuania, and they were called balandinis. I'll go ahead and throw it up there right now if you want to check it out. But my father makes those, is amazing. Mr. Salay in Latvia, we color the eggs on the onion skins, and make them look beautiful and go swings in the mosquitoes. Yes, I'm sure Latvia probably does Easter amazing. It's very how do I say, like naturalistic, or just Latvia does things like springtime holidays and things like that. Really fun. Did you know in Latvia you have a name day? Yeah, so you actually have a birthday and a name day whenever your name day. I forget what my name day is. Gunta, what is your name day? But anyway, what do you guys do? Thanks for sharing that with me, Gunta. I'm not going to go ahead and get more into the news that happened this week because I'm excited about bringing our guest on. I will tell you that more than 5 million Facebook users have been found available on a website for hackers. So hopefully you guys are safe. I thought I would share that with you guys. That is pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, let's keep moving. Let's keep the show rolling. This is what we're drinking. This is a Hazy IPA from Paperback Brewing in Glendale, California, called Bunny with a Chainsaw. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I think something about the double flat drink. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of flavor from citrus, but yeah, nevertheless, really good. Enjoying the beer. So, guys, Nicholas, welcome to the show. Happy Easter. Now it's time for the 27th of May is Ginta's name day. All right, awesome. Now it's time for one of the things that I really, when I visioned this live show, this is one of the things that I really wanted to do. This is the thing that I wanted to strive for. This is the thing that I'm growing as you watch me grow. As each week I bring on, we have the Eat It or Not segments, but now today is the first day where I'm bringing in a special guest, a guest that's going to come and hang out with us, talk to us a little bit about his life or her life, what they do, just make the show a little more fun and kind of just introduce themselves. And I'm telling you, I'll bring just about anybody on the show, but this guy I'm really excited about because he's not only my really good friend, he's just an amazing all-around guy. He's got so much stuff going on. He's done some amazing things, and he's just getting started. And so today, guys, this is what I'm wearing. This is his shirt. This is his apparel. So if you like this, you can go ahead down in the description. I'll leave a link where if you want to purchase a shirt like this, you can go ahead and purchase it. You're going to love this guy. So without me pumping him up anymore, as much as I'd love to, it's time for me now to bring on our very first guest here on the Weekly Beer and Video Review Show with Travel Man Dan, and I am bringing on AJ the Rabbit Ricciardi, my good friend. AJ, welcome to the show. Yes.
What's up?
What's up, man? What is going on, AJ?
Hey, you know. Thanks for having me. It's my honor to be the very first guest
yes.
of the show.
You are.
And you couldn't have brought on a more nerdy individual, so I hope people are down with that. As you can see, my collage behind me is my interests, kung fu movies. You know it.
Yeah, that's okay, AJ. That's okay for you. We're definitely willing and able to hang with your nerdiness if you tell us a little bit about who you are. And let's start there. Welcome, AJ.
Thank you. All right, I'll try to make it as expedited as possible. Pretty much, I'm AJ the Rabbit Ricciardi, lifelong martial artist from the Central Valley, California. Started training in traditional, Taekwondo when I was a kid. Got really into Jackie Chan in the mid-'90s when he hit it big here. And from Jackie, got obviously into Bruce Lee once I was allowed to watch rated R movies. And just became obsessed with everything Kung Fu movie related. Post-college, I made the decision at that point, because I had started competing in Muay Thai, to move to Thailand to train and fight, because I was super inspired by the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Kickboxer. So went to Thailand, fought a couple times, beat some Thai guys, which was one of my goals. I love Thai culture, love Thai people. I had never traveled before. I never even had a passport. I had to go get one before the trip. I was like, hey, you know what? I kind of like this traveling thing. That's what led me to China, where I became an English teacher. And then shortly thereafter, I ended up at a wonderful company in Guangzhou, where I met yourself and our other individual on the show today. And from there, we've just had some crazy adventures. Eventually came back to the USA in 2016, started running my own mobile fitness business, and also started training under one of my childhood heroes, Peter Sugarfoot Cunningham. Began competing locally in the LA area and internationally again, all across the continental US. And then also went back to grad school at the same time. So I was running my fitness business, going to grad school, competing as a kickboxer. And in the midst of grad school is where I started my podcast, where I talk about anything and everything martial arts related, specifically Kung Fu movies. Within that time period, I finally won my first title, Muay Thai title, international Muay Thai title. I began the podcast, I graduated, and that's kind of what I'm doing today. And I'm super pumped to be on the show, so thank you.
Wow, AJ, wow, that is a tremendous amount of stuff to dissect. And guys, I'm going to go through it with you. So if you didn't catch it all the way, don't worry. I'm going through it with you. But first, I got to ask you, are you drinking anything today?
Funny you should ask. So I decided where I am currently living, Calaveras County, Northern California. So we relocated from Los Angeles during the pandemic to help take care of my father, who unfortunately suffers from a disease called progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP. So if anybody wants any more information about that, they can always reach out to me, because we're always trying to raise awareness for it, because it's a relatively not new diagnosed disease, but it's just not as well known. So we're always raising awareness for that. So we moved up here to help take care of him. Up here in the mountains, it's beautiful. And this is mostly wine country, but there is a local brewery. So
you got what do you got? Local brewery. We always like local breweries.
Yes,
we always
we do.
Like popping wine out of the way and drinking.
Oh,
what are you drinking?
All right. So the local brewery up here is called Snowshoe.
Frozen.
Oh, frozen. Okay, let me know when we're back. Ooh, Major Freeze. Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
Okay. Hello? Not sure if we're still frozen. What's going on? But hello to all the viewers and listeners out there, if you can hear me. Super excited to be on Danny's show.
We are back,
Okay.
AJ. Sorry about that. Yeah. Guys, I'm really sorry. We are working through this stream. So go ahead. Show us what beer you're having.
All right. So this is our local brewery, Snowshoe. And now I am not an IPA fan typically, but because today's Easter, and in Chinese we'd say 复活节快乐. So happy Easter. I decided I was going to try an IPA. Now I've heard very good things about Snowshoe Brewery's IPA. So this is going to be my very first time trying it. And this is also kind of, Danny wanted me to bring on something for show and tell. So I have a few things. And this is my first part of this, is the glass I'm going to be pouring this into. Now, if you can see right here, that says Shanghai Brewery. And Danny can attest to the fact, and Nate will be able to as well. I'm what you might call a goody two-shoes. I don't break the rules, and this is the only item in my life I have ever stolen. And I will say it right now. We straight up stole these Christmas Eve 2013 from Shanghai Brewery in Shanghai, China. So I am super happy to get to crack this bad boy open. So,
Oh yeah, I love that sweet crack.
Yeah.
Well,
Should
AJ, can you pull it
Oh.
up a little higher so we can see it? Oh
Yeah.
It's a dark one.
Oh, yeah. So this is their most popular beer, they said. And the funny part is the main reason I don't drink IPA too often is another very good friend of the three of ours, Max. One time he was working for a beer company and all they had was IPA at this event and we were playing drinking games all night with IPAs. IPAs are not the kind of beer you want to play drinking games with, chugging them.
No, they're definitely not.
All right. Well, before I take my sip, I just want to show. Thank you for the support. Always. Always. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. So what would you like me to do first before I sip this?
Why don't you just go ahead and sip it, and then I'll go ahead and tell us what your initial taste. Now, AJ's going to go ahead throughout the show and be drinking this beer and hanging out with us. And then when I go ahead and score this paperback chainsaw with a bunny with a chainsaw beer, he's going to go ahead and give us his score on his beer. How was the first sip, AJ?
Very good. And it's funny. I like that terminology you used earlier about IPAs. What did you say exactly? Where it doesn't have that IPA...
the hoppiness?
No, not the hoppiness. You used because it's like that weird IPA aftertaste that a lot of less than.
Yeah, it's very pungent. It's very like you almost get like this weird like tickle on your cheekbone back in here. I don't know what the heck that is, but I always get IPAs.
And I can say this does not have that, and I am quite pleased. And that's me being 100% honest because I actually got two different beers for them. From them, I also got their Heffenweisen, which is my preferred beer. Which I plan to drink in a little bit. So I am not an IPA fan by any means, but this is good. It doesn't have that weird bite afterwards. It's very smooth, quite enjoyable. I could see myself like drinking this way too fast, which normally with IPAs isn't the case. It's for me, it's a sip like, ooh, sip, ooh, something like that. This one though, I can just sit and I could probably, we could kill quite a few of these.
Well, cheers, AJ. Happy Easter.
Cheers, my friend.
All right, so AJ, we talked a little bit about you were a kickboxer in Thailand. Tell us a little bit about how that became. Obviously, you grew up as a martial art fan and a practitioner. You were probably involved with some type of karate class when you were a kid, and then you grew into it. So tell us, what was Thailand like? What did you do there? And that is what spawned you to move to China.
So, little background. So Central Valley, California, where I'm from, a lot of people, especially people outside of America, they have this vision of California being just all LA, beaches, palm trees, this, that. No, California is huge. And there's a huge part of California that is nothing like that. And that's where I'm from. It's farmland. So, if you see where I grew up, you'd be like, that's not California. So where I was, there wasn't a whole lot of martial arts culture per se. But when I was growing up in the mid-'90s, this was the time period of Power Rangers. Ninja Turtles were huge. That was the era because I was born in the mid-'80s. So I grew up with the cartoons and the films of Ninja Turtles. And then so a local karate school opened up. Taekwondo, but much more what we call kind of Korean karate style, like the very traditional non-sports based, just like this style. So that was my base. I loved it. That's what got me into martial arts.
Can you do that again for us?
For sure. I'll do a few different ones. Thank you. That's also, yeah.
No, thank you.
So that's what got me into it. And then, and then obviously, as I said, I segued into the Kung Fu movies, which made me really want to do Chinese martial arts, but there just wasn't anywhere I'm from. I was about 2 hours away from the Bay Area. My family's all from Oakland. But that was too far, especially as a kid. How am I going to get there? So in college, I was able to explore a lot more because I went to UC Santa Cruz. So I got to I did a style called Shorinji Kempo for years, a very traditional Japanese style, also based in Zen Buddhism, which is an interest of mine. That's another part of my show and tell. I got my little mini Buddha here. Thank you.
What about the Gojo Ryu elbows?
Oh, Gojo Ryu elbows, baby. Gojo Ryu elbows. Inside joke. So from there, what happened was I had an internship in LA one summer. And I had decided, you know what? At that point in my life, I was going through a lot. And as I always joke, for the first time ever, I said, you know what? I just want to hit something. So I ended up at the Inosanto Academy. And for people who don't know, Guru Dan Inosanto was Bruce Lee's best friend, #1 student, and he kind of carried the legacy. But aside from just doing Bruce Lee's martial art of Jeet Kune Do, he also studied multiple martial arts, Muay Thai from Thailand, Pencak Silat from Indonesia and Malaysia, French Savate kickboxing. The list goes on and on. And so when I attended this school, I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do Jeet Kune Do finally, my dream, yeah. I did one class of Muay Thai and was hooked. And I just became an addict. And so when I went back to university my last year, I actually didn't complete my minor because I was more devoted to my kickboxing. And then I had never traveled. Growing up, my family was not a traveling family. We were very fortunate that we had a family cabin that we would go to during winters for skiing, summers, you know, for just hanging out. But we literally took 0 vacations pretty much. So I was not a traveler. As I said, I didn't have a passport. None of my family had been to Asia at that point. And when I decided I just needed a change in my life, this was 2009 that I graduated. So for people that may not remember, this was during a recession. And I was very fortunate that I got a job with a family friend's real estate company. I was able to save some money. And I just thought, you know what? I want to follow my dream of doing martial arts in Asia. And I want to go to Thailand and compete, and I want to win. I want to fight in Thailand, and I want to win a fight. And so, you know, I got my first passport. I had never traveled, never booked a flight, really. And so I had to figure all that out like an idiot. I ended up having a 10-hour layover in Hong Kong because I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was stuck in the Hong Kong airport for hours, just like, all right, hanging out. And then, you know, I show up in Thailand. You got a good Burger King. That's it, Burger King. You know, they've got McDonald's. They've got a yogurt shop now and there. But there's worse airports to be stuck in, as we can attest to. But so pretty much, you know, I show up at the airport. I have no idea how to even get to where I'm going. And if you think that was bad, a few months later when I moved to Beijing was even worse. Because at least in Thailand, you know, the taxi drivers, everyone can speak broken English. They want to take you to where you want to go. I show up in Beijing, China in December of 2011. 2010. And so first off, I was living in Phuket, Thailand. I had all summer clothes. So for people that don't know, Beijing in December is very, very cold. So I get off the airplane. I luckily have a light jacket, kind of like this. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh. And, you know, I get inside because I was on the tarmac and I go in. I'm like, all right, so taxi drivers will speak English here, right? I'll be like, oh, hello. I would like to go here. Luckily, I had it written in. They look at me. Huh. They pull out their newspapers and keep reading. I'm like, excuse me, could you please take me to, huh? Yeah. Why, Lord? And they just go back to reading. And it was just a culture shock. And from there, it's like baptism by fire. And you just have to learn. And people are sometimes so blown away. Like, how did you go over there not knowing anybody? And I'm like, you know what? It was an adventure. I was 23 years old. It was the time to do it. And from there, led to a lot more life experiences. I got to train Chinese kickboxing in China at the Shanghai Sports University. I met amazing people like you, Nate, Max. I got to learn the culture. I got to learn the language. I made some lifelong Chinese friends, including
You're great at Chinese, including your what?
My Sanda coach, Jeff, who you know, Jeff Sheng. And it's just, I've had so many wonderful experiences that I'm so thankful for. And
the best one, I would have to say, probably that you met in China, if you've never been, sleeps next to you.
This is true. The greatest thing that happened to me, excellent, thank you, Danny, is in Shanghai, and real quick, I'll make this story fast. I met my wonderful life partner, Jessica, who's Filipina American. Her mom's from the Philippines, but she was born in America. And one day, our gym in the mall, because in China, gyms are typically in malls. I was working out. I didn't want to wait for the elevator because for people that have never been to China, occasionally elevators are packed. So you're in there like, ugh. And just one day, I just had enough. I was like, I'm taking the escalator. On my way down, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to hop into Hollister, as in the clothing company. As I'm walking in, this absolutely beautiful young lady is walking out, and she greets me. She says, hello, welcome to Hollister, blah, 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 blah. And I look at her, and I say to her, you're not Chinese. And she's like, no. I'm like, your English is you sound like you're from America. She says, I am. Blah, 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 blah. Can I get your phone number? I'm looking for friends. Okay, I have to go now. Bye. And from that point, I called you. I remember
that.
And I said, Danny, you're never going to believe this. She's like, what? I'm like, this hot-ass American chick just asked for my number and then bounced.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, that's awesome. And then from there, 7.5 years later, we're still together, still wonderfully happy, and I'm extremely blessed for that.
Yeah, I still remember the day you met Jess, and that's great, AJ. And we love hearing about not only just like your adventures as a martial artist, but also your travel stories are really fun because this is a travel channel and we are focusing on travel. But that's great. There was a couple of things I want to address. Ginta would like you one day to dress up as a panda and maybe do some kung fu. So hopefully we can see that. But
tell you what, I can do you one better. I will not only dress up the best I can as a panda, I actually have a pair of panda nunchucks given to me by our good friend Max.
That's right.
So I will have to do a Bruce Lee nunchuck routine with the panda nunchucks.
Well, I look forward to that, and we will definitely be bringing AJ back. I will go up to his studio sometime in June, I'm looking at, and I will be able to do it live with AJ. But one of the things I also wanted to talk about is what he's doing now, and he's got this great thing going on. As you can see, he's got a lot of enthusiasm. He's got a lot of passion. He's very, very happy and about doing what he loves, and what he loves is martial arts and martial arts movies, and that's why you need to check out AJ. Why don't you tell him a little bit about what you're doing now?
Sure. So real quick background, my undergrad was in film and digital media from UC Santa Cruz. Originally, I thought, man, I'm going to be the next Jackie Chan or Sammo Hung, as making my own movies, starring in my own movies. But that's also when I segued into competing in martial arts. And I realized, you know what? That was kind of more what I needed in my life, what I needed for me, the yin and yang balance in my life. I needed a little more yang. I needed the hardness because for me growing up, I was a student. Like that was the emphasis. I was not a star athlete like yourself. And so doing the actual competitive martial arts was something I needed because I am not a fierce individual, right? You know me. I am not a competitive in that sense. I had to learn to kind of dig deep and become that type of person. And that's exactly what I needed in my life for balance. I'm very big on balance, Taoism, hard, soft. And so I decided after all these adventures, and I moved back to LA, I was like, you know what? What I'm truly passionate about is the more film studies, the history, the theory, the critical analysis. So I went back to grad school at California State University, Los Angeles, and I received my master's in communications with a television and film studies option. So really it's my master's in film studies. And during the course of this, one of my classes as a project, I had a few options, and one of them was start a podcast. And a very good dear friend of mine who I met through my martial arts training in Los Angeles, Gavin, was equally as well versed in both Hong Kong martial arts cinema and American martial arts cinema, just like myself. A lot of people are fans of one or the other, but not both. And Gavin was extremely unique because he actually grew up in Japan. He's your age, Danny, I think the exact same age. And he grew up elementary school, Japan, then back to America for a couple of years, then junior high and high school, Japan. And so we decided on a whim, I was like, hey, Gavin, one of my projects is I could start a podcast. You want to do this with me? And he's like, yeah, that sounds fun. And so we interviewed our mutual coach / sensei, Peter Sugarfoot Cunningham, 7-time world kickboxing champion, kung fu movie actor, a guy as a kid I grew up watching his movies and loving. And so when I moved to LA and I had the opportunity to do a seminar with him, I was just blown away. And then when he saw me move around and stuff, he invited me to come train with him and the boys, the fighters. That was a life-changing experience for me because he's the one that led me to my championship, him and my training partner, Herman the Bat Baltazar, multi-time K1 world champion. And
he's a beast. He's a beast.
Both of them are beasts. Yeah. And I owe them so much. And so on this first episode, we're just like, let's interview Sensei. Gavin is what we call a civilian student, meaning he just trains for fitness and fun and the love of martial arts. And so what started on a whim, we did it. And we're like, hey, that was kind of fun. Let's keep doing it. And now it's grown into this awesome podcast where little by little it's growing. I mean, we're averaging, I'd say when we drop an episode, we get like 100 listens that week. And so
That's great.
it's not bad. We're getting there. And anybody that wants to listen to it, it is called the Martial Arts Mania Podcast. We're available on both SoundCloud and iTunes, so Apple Podcasts. We're trying to put the episodes on YouTube more and more, and doing this with you today is actually a huge inspiration for me, so thank you. And I think we're going to start using this same sort of setup you have and trying to put them on YouTube so people can watch us as well. But yeah, sometimes we review films, sometimes we interview people, significant figures. Recently, we've also dropped some episodes about training and fitness, because for me, being that I compete as a Muay Thai fighter, kickboxer, fitness has always been a huge part of my life, like you. I was inspired by a lot of the 80s action guys originally, and Bruce Lee, of course, but Stallone, Schwarzenegger. I know a mutual favorite movie of ours is Pumping Iron. And so fitness has been a huge part of my life, especially growing up a skinny Italian kid in an area where athletics was very popular. And so a lot of big farm kids and little skinny me. So I got really into working out. And so we'll talk about fitness on the podcast. We'll talk about martial arts movies. We'll talk about, we'll interview people. And hopefully I want to get you on there, because we want to start a segment about kind of not up and coming actors, or like independent actors and filmmakers, or people just doing cool stuff.
Yeah. Listen, AJ, you know that I'm a phone call away. A couple of other things that, I want to touch on. Just continue to do it. As most of the people in this room know, I started off, I got 100 views here and there, and then all of a sudden it kept growing and growing, and we're very close to 5,000 organic subscribers. So whether that's subscribing, listening, the one thing that people can tell is that you're passionate, you absolutely love what you do, and they will respect that, and they'll grow to you, and you are the go-to guy. Guys, listen to me. If I'm not like just saying this because AJ is my friend, but if you want to know about martial arts movies or action movies, listen to this guy's podcast, send him a DM or whatever.
Anytime.
AJ is the guy. And now, AJ, we got to keep this moving, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you. I know your favorite actor is Bruce Lee. I know all about it. We're going to talk about a whole nother segment about AJ's Bruce Lee knowledge and stuff like that. But I do want to talk to you about, give me 3 must-see action movies. Now, for me, I'm always been kind of like I love all the old ancient kung fu movies and the Shaw Brothers and all that stuff. And I put those in a separate category. If you were to ask me about action movies, it would be, for me, it would probably be Rocky. It would probably be then Cliffhanger. And then it would probably be Marked for Death. But
I know you love Marked for Death. Wait, real quick. You have to give us your Jamaican accent impersonation from that film. Go.
What a one rude boy, the secret to Screwface magic. You have 2 eyes and 4 brains.
Yes, I love it. Every time you do that, we'll have to, maybe we can do a live stream of that one time.
Yeah, I love, if you guys.
Oh, and thank you, Drunatic, about loving my posters behind me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, we call her Drunatic.
Drunatic, my bad.
But now that you say that, maybe
I think Drunatic sounds better. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
Yeah. But yes, Drunatic's uncle makes these badass Denmark movie posters. So yeah.
That's so cool. Like, just real quick, just internationally, with film posters, especially like Thailand. I follow a whole Instagram page, which is just Thailand movie posters. Action movies, and it's just phenomenal. In Africa, there's a whole subculture of where they would have to hand draw these posters, and it's just fascinating. I love art in general. So, but real quick, the movies. We're gonna get into that.
Yes, give me your top 3 action movies, and then we're gonna bring on the next segment.
You got it. Now, when you originally asked me to do this, I thought, man, that's really hard. So, because of your show, because of what we're doing today, I decided to do a themed action film. And since we're drinking beer, I decided I would do my top 3 action films related to beer in one way or another. So
you see this guy, he's meticulous, and I love it. I love it.
So my first one is kind of a 3-way tie. And what it is, it's the Cornetto Flavor Trilogy, which is the British action films. So Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. And so these are the films that are directed by Edgar Wright and written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. So Simon Pegg is the star of those films. And so the first one, Shaun of the Dead, was very popular. It's a zombie film. The second one, Hot Fuzz, is like an 80s action inspired film. And then The World's End is a sci-fi alien invasion one. And each one of these movies, the idea of drinking beer, going to the pub is extremely prevalent, especially The World's End. It's them doing a pub crawl called The World's End that they haven't tried to do since they were kids. The World's End. Yes, Nate. And
I didn't know that.
During an alien invasion. And the action is sick. Actually, the action's handled by Brad Allen of the Jackie Chan stunt team, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Shaun of the Dead is a zombie invasion one where they decide to pretty much quarantine at their favorite pub. And then Hot Fuzz, it's just, once again, the concept and the idea of beer drinking, going to the pub is prevalent throughout. And so these films are technically 3 different genres. I'd say horror, action, sci-fi, but they're fantastic films, very funny. I believe, and it's hard with comedy sometimes to be internationally not accepted, but beloved by multiple cultures, because comedy is a little bit different. Comedy can be very culturally specific, but these films kind of break that barrier, and everyone seems to really enjoy them. So I recommend this trilogy of films: Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, and Hot Fuzz. So that's the number 3 entry. Number 2, yes, number 2, one of my all-time favorite action films, another kind of interesting multi-genre mix. And that's going to be Lone Wolf McQuade, starring Chuck Norris.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So what it is, it's a contemporary action film set in El Paso, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very spaghetti Western inspired. And so pretty much this film for Chuck Norris was very interesting because it was uncharacteristic for his usual characters. He was not a by-the-book policeman. He was a rough and tumble, grungy, dirty ass Texas Ranger that constantly drinks beer throughout the whole movie. And not just any beer, specifically Pearl beer.
Oh,
yeah. So throughout the movie, like at one point he goes to an outdoor event and they're, they offer him the beers. And he's like, no. But then he gets some VIP treatment and they're like, Pearl beer is underneath the bar. He's like, oh, okay. At one point, he's buried underneath the ground, left for dead. They bury him alive, the bad guys. As he's sitting in his souped up, like, Ford Explorer or whatever it is, he takes a beer, drinks it, then pours it all over himself as if it's like Gatorade or water and he just won the Super Bowl, and then just soups up his car and drives out of the ground. So it's a beer-drinking, Texas-loving, hardcore martial arts shoot-'em-up movie. Great entry. Lone Wolf McQuade.
All right. AJ, I just want to stop you real quick and say Happy Easter to Greg Z. Good to see you here. I know you're one of the 025, so happy to see you. And give us your number 1 because people are they're crying about the eggs. They want to see to eat it or not. They want to see Nate eat this disgusting thing.
You got it. Number 1, real quick. Not only one of the greatest beer-drinking action movies, one of the greatest action movies ever made, maybe the greatest fisticuff movie ever made, maybe the greatest 80s action film ever made, Roadhouse, starring Patrick Swayze. There is no better beer-drinking, bar-fighting action movie than Roadhouse. Great martial arts, handled technically by the great Benny Urquidez, Benny the Jet, that is, who you got to work with, who is technically my sensei, fantastic individual. The fight scenes in that are so hard-hitting. The choreography is fantastic. It's super entertaining. It's got some great one-liners. Does a hobby horse have a wooden dick? Great ones. I apologize about the foul language. It's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie. Check it out. Check out all those movies. If you ever have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram.
Wow. Hey, AJ, that's hysterical, man. That's your Sam Elliott, great, perfect, spot on. Roadhouse is probably in my top 10 of all movies. One of the greatest movies. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, we're going to keep AJ here throughout the show. He's going to be coming back. We're going to bring him back for show and tell. We're going to bring him back for periodically, what would you rather? Maybe towards the end, we'll bring him back one last time. But I'm telling you, the man is a plethora of knowledge. And when it comes to not just, memory and things like that, this guy tells me things that I forgot I did 10 years ago, and which is really good to have. But really, if you want to know more about martial arts movies, action movies and stuff, he's your go-to guy. Be sure to check out his podcast. I'll put it down in the description. You can check out the link. You can follow him anywhere. Listen to him. We're going to bring him back on the show, not only because he's my friend, but he's a great host. Thank you so much, AJ. Happy Easter to you and your family. Have a great one. I'll keep you here. But now, guys, it is time. It is time for everybody's, soon, very, very fun show that they're really enjoying. And I always look forward to this. And another great guest that we have here. Guys, I'm not going to drag this out. I'm just going to bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, welcome Nate Messick and his segment, To Eat It or Not. Yes, welcome, Nate. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
AJ.
Yes.
What's going on? Shout out to AJ the Rabbit. Great having him on the video here today. So I hope everybody had a chance to kind of take in all those stories. He's such a great storyteller, and I've known these guys for a long time. So AJ, great having you on here, brother.
Put the shirt on, bro. It's okay if you want to take your shirt off and then put that one on.
It's too small. He got me a medium, and then I washed it one time, and now it's for a 14-year-old boy.
Just put it on anyway. You'll look great.
What's going on, Travel Man Dan? How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you and your family. Really, really pumped up that you're here. Oh, you got a rabbit. I like it.
For those of you that are unaware, a long time ago, America went away from the religious aspect of Easter, and we brought you this beautiful commercial bunny.
Oh, look at this, Frank. Frank is the man, dude. He's starting to believe you're world famous. Actually, it's so weird because we talked about this last year, and the reason that we have a bunny is, we don't really know, but it's basically that the bunny was the start of spring and a new beginning, and it kind of goes inside with the egg hatching open and the chick coming out and the resurrection of Christ and all this new beginning, and that's where it all came from. Where we got Cadbury eggs and Peeps, I don't know. Killer Rabbit. This is what I'm drinking. I'm drinking Bunny with a Chainsaw. I missed the beat. What eggs? Don't worry, you didn't miss anything, Quinta. Just get ready. Okay, I'm drinking this. Nate, are you having a drink?
I am. So I went out yesterday trying to find something that would be interesting for Easter. I found Ace Guava Craft Cider. This is based out of California. It's 5%. And it's not a traditional beer. It is a cider, and that's kind of why I went with it. I wanted to try something a little bit pink for Easter, something a little bit different. But yeah, 5% Ace, California, guava flavored, Brazilian guava flavored cider.
Okay, great. Maybe we'll bring it back when I'm going ahead and talking about this Bunny with a Chainsaw beer. One thing that I want to talk about real quick is, when you first drink this Bunny with a Chainsaw, it is very smooth, right? But as the juiciness comes in and as the double dry hop comes in, it really leaves an essence of a nice creamy flow, of a really delicious IPA that is, already you can start to see I'm a little flushed in the face and the Popeyes have coming. I'm getting about an 8.5. Yeah. If you don't know, if you really want to look at your friends next time when they're drunk, really look at them, even when they're not drunk. Everybody has a smaller eye, whether it's your left or your right, I don't know. But if you really look at your friends when they're drunk, that's when they start to get a Popeye. That little eye starts closing. But definitely enjoying it. That's a nice guava. I'm interested. Maybe I'll try it. But now we're here for Eat It or Not. And it is Easter. Easter has definitely commercialized into something with bunnies and chicks and eggs and alta. Tell us what you're doing for today. Are we doing a pupa kalova? Are we doing an Easter ham? What do we got?
All right, guys. Well, first of all, thank you for joining us for episode 3 of Eat It or Not. In the first episode, we did get to haggis, and I gave you the verdict of Eat It. Week 2, we went to the Creepies and Crawlies, and we tried crickets, 3 different flavors. And again, I said eat it. Now today, and I want to pay homage to Easter, so I figured I had to do some kind of an egg dish, but I do apologize. Last week I gave you guys all a bit of a teaser that I was going to do some fruit. That fruit was unavailable, so we will do that another time. But today, we're going to get to the star of this and it is called, see if anybody can guess it by me putting it up here. This is a whole version. Okay. Does anybody know what this thing is? All right. Here's one in this package. Not yet open. All right.
Oh, what is that thing?
And as you can see on here, we got some wacky characters on there. It's from China. All right.
It's in a package, an egg?
It is. It's in a package. This is a very, very particular egg. It's quite old. And it is called the 1,000-year egg. There's a lot of different names. You have century egg, 100-year egg, preserved egg, 1,000-year egg. And the whole idea is they take this. Typically, it's going to be a duck egg or a chicken egg, but mostly it's going to be a duck egg. They wrap it in black tea, salt, quicklime, which is basically like calcium oxide, and then they'll wrap it with some kind of leaves or twigs or something like that so they don't stick together. They'll put it into a cool, dry place. Sometimes it'll be underground. It can be in a closet, and they'll preserve this for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Now when you look at this, go ahead.
Frank says it's 1,000-year egg. You're saying 100-year. It's 1,000. Now Frank is probably familiar with this because I met Frank in China, so maybe he has some familiarity with it. He's excited about it. Tell us more.
Yeah, so there's, like I said, there's a lot of different names. 100-year egg, 1,000-year egg. But so let me go to the cost on this and where you can get it. Now, I had my wife get it at a place called 99, which is right down the street from us. It's a Chinese market. And I could get 6 of these for $3.50. So one is going to be roughly about 75 cents, right around there. If I'm doing my math right, probably not. But again, how do they make this thing? Duck egg. They'll take the quicklime, the salt, they'll bury it 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you have this. It's
man.
Dripping.
It's dripping. Oh my gosh.
Hold on. So right here, there's a telltale sign if this egg is going to be good or not. And there's a you see that right there? It kind of looks like a snowflake.
Yeah, it looks like a vein.
Yeah, that's telling you that it's ready and that it's good to eat. Now, just so you guys know, this is not how you eat this egg. Okay? I'm going to eat it whole on camera and I'm going to review it, but this is not how you eat it. There's several different dishes that you can eat it. It would usually be with like eggs and tofu, or sorry, the 1,000-year egg with tofu. There's 1,000-year eggs with chili and tofu, which is something I also have here. You can also put it, typically they'll put it into congee. One interesting fact that I did find out is that Thailand eats eggs as well, and they're called horse urine eggs because of a long time ago they thought that they were cured with horse urine, and that's what gave them this crazy weird black color.
Aquanut says, "What the nasty."
Just so you guys know, the smell
is
it's awful. It's repugnant. It smells. Oh my gosh! It smells like the inside of a dog's mouth or bleach.
Look at Greg. He's
a diaper.
He just wants to. He wants to find.
Gosh, it's all right. So you guys just want me to eat this thing or what? It does smell like a fart, Cindy.
Are you gonna do? Is Cindy gonna do the bad breath test?
All right. So before I eat that, I also have this to share. Right. This is how you should eat it.
Oh wow! Look at that. Let me see that. Holy cow! Nate,
can't really turn it too much, guys. Sorry, my camera situation isn't great. But that's 1,000-year-old egg, tofu, chili, garlic, cilantro, soy sauce, and sesame oil. So that's how you should be eating it. But we're not here for that. We're here for you guys to watch me eat this disgusting thing raw, whole at once. Are you ready?
God. I'm ready.
Where's my beer?
Bite that sucker down, eat it up. Oh, oh my gosh. What's up, Toby? What up? Oh man, that is disgusting.
Oh my God.
What is that, dude? What is that? What does it taste like?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
All right. So first of all, I don't know if you can see inside. It's not good, guys. It's not good that way. It's kind of gooey.
Bring it a little closer to the camera, please. Yeah. Let everyone see that in its full delight. Oh my
That's
God.
the yolk. That kind of looks like it's. Look at
Oh my. That is so gross. Oh, give us the teeth test. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Fucking terrible.
Dude, you're going to be farting. You're going to knock Cindy out with your farts, dude. Greg C's going, oh my God. Don't puke on my car. Guys, he's struggling. He's having a tough time. Oh man, imagine the burps afterwards. Please, please, please breathe on Cindy's face. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
What's
fucking don't not. Don't eat it.
He's
terrible.
He's calling his first knot.
No, don't. Man. Oh my God! Don't eat it like that. Anyway, whatever you do.
Hey,
all right.
Wow, that was tough, huh?
Sorry for the language, guys. It's just absolutely brutal.
Oh, we love it. We absolutely love it.
Oh my gosh! All right, so that's the incorrect way to eat it, and I'm telling you, don't eat it. There's no point. I mean, unless you just want to torture yourself, it is absolutely disgusting.
Is it sulfur taste?
It's not a sulfur. It's just it tastes like mold. It tastes like the back of a dog's mouth. That's what it tastes like. It's really gross. I'd rather eat crickets, Frank. No doubt about it.
Guys, I can't, Frank. You were like, dude, you're seeing into the future. The what would you rather? I swear it's already written on the show notes. Wait till you see. Oh yeah, wait, hold on, Nate. Lather that up with some hot sauce. I want to puke by watching it. Cindy says I want to puke. That egg is an internet list of disgusting foods. My sister says that egg is on the internet list of disgusting foods.
Of course it is.
Oh, he's going to work on it, guys. Thank you, Frank. We're having a great show. Guys, I got to bring in AJ right away. AJ, what do you think of this debauchery?
Oh, I was laughing just out loud, straight up, and Jessica's still sleeping upstairs, and oh man, savage dog. Like I can see that look on his face, because there's no faking that. There is no faking that. But you know what the funny part is? That presentation's beautiful, but the three of us have been to plenty of dinners in China where you have a lot of that on the table, right? And it spins around in a circle, and it's hit or miss. Usually hit, but occasionally you get that miss where it's just, ooh, it's like some zhou tofu, the stinky tofu. Once in a while, you might, the funny part is when you eat it on accident. That's the best part. Nate knew what he was getting into here, but I one time ate stinky tofu chow mein on accident. I didn't know that's what it was, and I'm eating it, and I'm just out of nowhere. Oh, what the hell? Yeah.
All right. Well,
my hat's off to you, buddy.
Toby asks Nate, is it good with the sauce?
Yes, it is. But so you got to understand with the sauce, it's some of the most strong flavors that you can. It's fresh garlic, so of course that's super strong. Fresh Thai chilies, which is burning the hell out of my mouth right now. Soy sauce. And cilantro. So you got 4 of those very, very pungent, strong, kind of funky flavors. Because otherwise, I don't think you can get this down unless, I don't know. I'm a little bit at a loss for that after that one. It's pretty bad.
Nate, I can't believe you just took that thing down. He's still going. I love this from Ginta. She says, excellent show. Nate looks like he's gonna cry. That's coming from his wife,
who sees him cry all the time.
Right,
she knows when it's coming.
or is familiar with these eggs. Cindy, by the way, I will say, Cindy, the way that you presented the egg looks awesome. Great job. I really think that we should have the Cindy breath test where Nate blows the breath of whatever he's eating right in your face. And I think maybe he would have knocked you out with this one.
I could smell him through the camera.
She might divorce me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's it. Well, hopefully not. But Nate, so you're gonna give that a strong not. That's right, huh?
100 guys, definitely a not. You're not going to do it. I mean, you can, but for me, the verdict today on Eat It or Not for the 1,000-year-old peed on egg is not. Don't eat it. Please do yourself a favor. Unless you have a beautiful Chinese wife that can prepare it like this.
Wow. That is cool, man. That looks great. Greg D says it's like waking up next to a naked man by accident.
Or not by accident.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell this is going, but let's do
a little too much. I'm divorcing.
I'm divorcing.
That's what Sydney says. Yeah.
No, don't divorce him, Nate. Come on, you keep it together, bro.
Sydney, 不要离婚，不要。
All right. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, that was awesome watching you eat that, Nate. I don't know, you've seen Nate eat the white chocolate when we had our white chocolate thing. You've seen him eat the haggis, and now you've seen him eat the 1,000-year-old egg. But Nate, cheers to you. Cheers to you, AJ. I'm drinking a paperback Bunny with a chainsaw. I'm going to go ahead and swig this down, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with a little What Would You Rather. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Numero dos for me.
All right. That was delicious. Actually, I'm going to go right to the score before we get started. Well, What Would You Rather? And I'm going to go ahead and score this fast. You guys are welcome. Ooh, AJ cracking another one. You're welcome to tell me. Keep your score at home. I definitely always encourage you to use my scorecard with the taste, price, accessibility. I see all the comments coming in, and I'm divorcing sounds right. Yeah, what are you drinking next? We're gonna be drinking another fun beer. All I know is Nate's is this has become a food challenge channel a little bit, but Nate actually has gave good reviews on the one. But this is what we're gonna go ahead and give you a score for chainsaw Bunny with a chainsaw. The taste, I thought it was delicious. I thought it had a really nice balance between ultra dry hops and a little bit of juicy, fruity, citric flavor. I thought it was a really good taste, and I liked it very much, and I'll probably go back to it. That's why I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.0. Nate, what are you giving that guava drink?
For taste, I'm going to give it I'm going to give it a 3.5. I like it. I don't love it.
Okay. And AJ, what do you got for your beer?
Okay, real quick, I have to say this is my first time trying the Snowweisen, and I'm a Heff guy, right? And taking that initial sip, I was like, holy moly, this tastes good. But then it had this aftertaste like a second later that literally just blew my mind. This is one of the best Heffs I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the IPA was also one of the best I've ever had, but I'm not a big IPA guy. But Heff is my beer. And this right now, wow, I'm giving whatever the highest score is for taste plus some. 5.
It's giving a 5.0. I definitely know what you're talking about with that second layer, and I'm very familiar with that. And I also too like when a beer has a second flavor and a level of complexity to it.
Again, man, this is so freaking good. I'm not just saying this. Like, I love Heff. I'm a classic Blue Moon type of guy. I love those beers, but holy moly, this Snowweisen from Snowshoe Brewery. Wow.
All right. Well, I look forward to hearing more about it. Now we're going to go to the design. And guys, I'm telling you, you can't beat paperback. They got the coolest designs. Not only is it a bunny with a chainsaw, but it's on Easter. And check that out. That is just a smiling bunny. I like how they have the P on their chainsaw for the brewery. If we circle back right here in big block Cooper writing, they say paperback. That's pretty fun. Over here, a little story, and then bunny with a chainsaw. His cuteness will cut you to pieces, and it tells you the alcohol percentage right clear in the wide open, 8.2. So you're not searching, you're not looking for it. So I definitely enjoy this, and I'm going to go ahead and give this one of the highest scores ever. I don't think that you're going to go ahead and get a better design on a can. I just think that this is what you shoot for. I thought the Duckzilla was great. I also think this one is great. And I'm going to go ahead and give Bunny with a Chainsaw a score of a 5.0. Nate, what do you got for design?
I want to give this the lowest score or close to it. If you can see here, it kind of looks like if you go to an Albertsons or you go to your local grocery store and you get the off brand of cola, that's what this can reminds me of. So I'm going to give this a 1.
Oh, ooh, okay. Well, it's funny because Frank and the Tenacious Freak has said both that the Bunny is a winner. It is a 5.1. AJ, what do you got for design on your can?
Interesting. So this is obviously nothing extravagant, but I very much agree with Nate's critical analysis of his can. I also don't really like that design, but just because something simple doesn't mean it's not well done. I find this actually very sleek, very professional. The color scheme of, for example, this one, it's the darker with the white. I like the silver top. I like the logo with those old school like snow shoe type things, the ones that you can walk in the snow with. So I'm actually going to give this a 4. I think it's very professional looking, very sleek, nothing fancy. And obviously I'm a big fan of like artistic stuff, but I'm giving it a 4.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to go to price. Now the price for this one. I've never drank this at the brewery, but I did buy it out of a gas station in Bakersfield. So I probably paid a premium price on this thing. This guy right here was $5.69. And I bought it at the Paperback Brewing. I don't know if it was poured into a cup, if it was poured into a glass, I probably would have paid $12. So the price point was good. Sometimes you got to let things like this slide a little bit. Wasn't the great price, but you are getting a beer that's 8.5%. So it's going to get you banged up at a quicker rate than you would have to drink 3 other like Millers or whatever. So I like that. And for the price, occasionally if the beer matches the taste, I'll give it a good score. I'm going to say it's all right. It's a good price, but I'm going to still give it a 4.0. Nate, what do you got on price on that Guava?
So for this one, I got a 6-pack for $9.99. So I guess that's going to come out to about $1.75, $1.90 a beer, something like that. For the price, I think it's okay. I'll do 2.5. I think $10 for a 6-pack of this is too expensive, but it's not egregious. 2.5.
Okay. AJ, what do you got for price on that guy?
That's what I'm trying to remember, is if these packs had 4 beers or 6 beers in each one. And now I'm looking at the picture I sent you guys initially when I bought it.
Probably 4.
Yeah, I think it was 4. So it came out, I got 2 4-packs, and it was $24. So that's 8 beers. That's $3 a beer. So definitely expensive. Now, awesome taste, but I'm going to maybe go with like a 2.5, because if it's a really good beer, I get it, but it's expensive.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, now let's go to accessibility. Now this beer, well, like I said, it's accessible for me because I live in Los Angeles, but for you guys, you probably can't find it in Las Vegas. I did hear that it is popping up in Los Angeles Trader Joe's. My friend Doug, and a viewer of the show, he showed this to me. I'd already purchased it, but Doug had showed it to me here in Los Angeles at a Trader Joe's. So that's pretty cool. But as far as getting it in Europe, as far as getting it in Africa and South America, non-existent. It's going to be hard to find. It's going to continue to grow, but we'll help them. But right now it's not very accessible, and that's why I'm going to give it a 2.5. Nate, what do you got accessibility on the Guava?
Yeah, I'm not sure how far away this goes, but it's a California beer, so I'm getting it in Las Vegas. I guarantee you're not getting this in other countries. This is a real craft kind of cider, so it's going to stay local and it's going to stay regionalized. I'd give it a 1.
A 1. Okay, very good. I love it. AJ, what do you got for accessibility?
Very similar to what Nate was just saying. This is a local beer. This is a local brewery. It's a small little restaurant / brewery. So I do want to say, though, I'm happy that it was so easy to just walk in and buy it. They have it right there in the entryway. But, I mean, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to go with like a 1 because it's just a local beer, though. But it's not meant for that international sale.
Yeah.
Got it.
And a lot of beers are like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just going to find that, local breweries are popping around towns, villages, cities, countries, it's going to take a while for it to go global. You like your Heineken, your Budweiser, your Carlsberg, but we continue to like it, and that's why we love doing this show. Is we can go ahead and we can introduce you to maybe something that you've never heard of that you might be interested with. So hopefully you find some value in that. And let's go on to the last one before we score this total. And it is the TMD, the Travel Man Dan X Factor. And I got to say, I love Paperback. I love this brewery. It's only about 20 minutes from my home. I think that it's really cool that it's Easter, and I was able to find a bunny with a chainsaw, kind of a little fun, little quirky way to kind of bring that funny, cool element of their labeling in here. It's a delicious beer, and the fact that it's 8.5%, it's what me and Nate like to drink. We always go in there. Matter of fact, I've been with Nate when we go into beer stores, and he doesn't even look at anything other than the ABV. That's it. He goes straight to it. Who's got the biggest punch? I'll take it right in the face, please. So for me, this is a great beer, and I really like it. This is a delicious flavor. I love that the bunny with the chainsaw, and so my TMD factor is going to be a good one, and that is going to be a 4.5. Guys, I'll let you go. Solid score. Nate, tell us your whatever you want to call it factor, and then we'll go ahead and we'll total up all the scores.
Well, for my whatever you want to call it factor, I'm going to go with a 2. I'm not that thrilled with this drink. I think the price I think it was slightly overpriced. It's not very accessible. The can and the design to me is just kind of blah. It does have a card on it with an ace, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't think I would ever buy it again. So yeah, I'll give it a 2.
Okay, AJ, what do you got for your? What do you got? Rabbit factor? What are you calling it?
Oh, I like that. We're going to call that the rabbit kick. The rabbit. Yeah, I like that. So the reason why I'm right out the gate, I'm going to give it a 5 because where I'm from, as I mentioned before, this is wine country. We're literally called the Napa Valley of the Mountains. It's one of the premier wine areas of California. Mm-hmm. There's just vineyards upon vineyards upon vineyards up here. This is wine country. And for someone to just be like, you know what? F it. I'm going to open a brewery. I'm going to do beer. That takes some cojones, man. That takes some balls. And you're going against the trend, which I always like. You're innovative, which I always like. So I'm doing a 5 because I was also so blown away by the taste of the Heffenweisen.
Oh, a 5, a solid on the nose. Okay, guys, I've totaled up the score. One good thing about having guests on the show, it doesn't leave me that space. I go ahead and I've already tallied it up. And guys, we have a tie. We have a 3-way tie. It is with Duckzilla, and it is also with the beer that we did last week, which was a little somehow. We have a score of a 20. That's right, Woo! A 20 for the bunny with the chainsaw.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, Nate. What was it? Just real quick. You don't have to get into it. Just tell us your score.
10.
Nate. Oh, AJ, what was your score?
Oh, damn! I got to do math. Wait. So
we'll come back.
I forget what I was saying. Okay, it was a 5 for the taste. It was a 2.5 for the price. It was a 1 for the accessibility, then another 5, so that's 10. That's 12.5, 13.5.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Pretty good score. Didn't break the threshold of what's a good
accessibility.
Score
Killed it. Accessibility. And that's not its fault. You know what I'm saying?
Accessibility always kills it. Don't worry, You're not the only one that it's happened to. But thank you so much for scoring those beers. Now let's quickly go into, and I mean quickly, AJ, give us the show and tell, and then we're going to do What Would You Rather.
All right. So my actual show and tell today, aside from my glass that we stole from Shanghai Brewery, is check out these bad boys from the 1950s. These are boxing gloves. That not only are they from the 50s, you're never going to believe who these belong to.
Who did they belong to?
My father. So when Grandma Ricciardi passed away a couple years ago and they were clearing out her house, I was given these gloves. And I was like, well, whose were these? And they're like, they were your dad's. And I remember asking my dad, I was like, you never told me you box? This guy, and he just kind of looks at me. He's like, well, I didn't really box. But back in the day, in the neighborhood, the Italian kids, this is how they settled disputes. You would glove up, go in the backyard, and box it out. Now, my
Nice.
father, the most wonderful person I have ever met, just a extremely gentle human being, cares for other people. I was very surprised to hear that he boxed. And as he told me, he's like, well, I wasn't really much of a boxer. And his older brother, Jack, was the champion of the backyard. And he told me one time he took a hook so hard, his jaw was never the same. And so this is representative of a different era where you settle your issues a whole different way, but also is very symbolic of my father's fight against progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP, because he's one of the bravest people I know and one of the hardest fighters I've ever known. So this is to my father, who I will drink to that. Cheers, gentlemen.
Oh, AJ, that's awesome, man. I'm so happy that you showed that to us.
Yeah.
I appreciate you stopping by and showing us. And, you know, with your dad, I'm sure he's an amazing guy. I'm looking forward to getting up there and drinking some Crown with him. I wish him the best. And, you know, it's called PSP, and I'll put it down below in the description if you're interested, and just spreading awareness or helping out in any which way that you can. It's a degenerative disease to your brain, and
Yes.
it's, well, it should be more prevalent, known about, and hopefully that we can go ahead and spread awareness. But I wish your dad the best. Thank you for showing us those boxing gloves. And, well, hey, Lisa, brotherly love, sisterly love, good to have you here. And now it's time for What Would You Rather? We're going to fire this off pretty quick. What would you rather? I'm just going to do it real quick. I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to bang it out, and then I'm going to point to it, Nate and AJ. So quickly, thank you so much, guys. Here comes number one. Where would you rather go? Would you rather go to Amsterdam or San Francisco? Whoa. Okay, great cities, amazing places. I've been to both. I've partied in both. I've had a great time in both. I love San Francisco and I love Amsterdam. Tough one to decide for me. But for me, I love Dutch chocolate. I'm going back to Amsterdam. Where are you going, Nate?
Dude, it's not even a question. It's Amsterdam all day long. San Francisco's a shit show. I'm going to Amsterdam. Thank you. I'm going to go to those little spots with the – what do they have over there? The red light district. That's my number one stop.
No.
Okay.
Going, Nate?
Sorry, Cindy.
Right out the gate, Amsterdam, first of all, never been. Second, Dutch kickboxing is very important in the history of kickboxing in K1, so I'd love to go train over in that area. And also, I've never been to Amsterdam. Amsterdam.
Beautiful. Love it. Well, Cindy also chimed in and said Amsterdam. So, Nate, unfortunately, you won't be able to hang out with hookers. You'll be able to hang out with your wife, though. And
well, no, I'm bringing her with me. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Okay, question number two, and that's always a fun one, and we're bringing the pictures in there. So, to eat it or not, I don't know, but what you got to do is choose one of these two. Are you going to have chicken souvlaki? Look at that. Okay, nice. Souvlaki means skewers in Greek. So there it is. You got your pita. You can put the rice. You can put your purple onions. Vanilla. Or you can put your tomatoes, cucumbers, and make a bit of a sandwich. Are you having chicken souvlaki? I'll even let you, for the purpose of this particular session and segment, to substitute it with lamb or beef. Are you going to have a souvlaki from Greece? Or are you going to have, probably really good where Frank's at, the old lobster roll?
Wow.
Ooh, look at that.
That's
okay.
tough, dude.
Now, take a look at the lobster roll. There's a couple things that, like, it's weird. This is like a bread, like not a roll. It's almost like a Wonder Bread, but it's kept in the same part of the same loaf. So it opens. It doesn't split in two, so the bottom part isn't falling out. Delicious. Got giant chunks of real lobster. It looks like in this one we got celery bits. We got all kinds of flavoring. Oh, man, says Frank. He is in New England, born and raised, so he's all about it. Well, for me, Cindy's going with the lobster roll. Frank is going with a local challenge. Lamb, please, for Drunatic. Okay, it's a hot dog roll. Ooh, there's a hot dog. For me, this is really tough. I love seafood. I'm going with the lobster roll. Nate, where are you going?
Yeah, I mean, if we're not considering price on this thing, I think it's a no-brainer. But there is one question: is it mayonnaise or is it butter? Because there's two options. Regardless, I'm going lobster roll.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to probably say butter. Always butter. We're going to go with the best. Okay, AJ, where are you going with?
Totally opposite of you guys. I love meat, like Mediterranean cuisine. As you know, I'm a pretty clean eater, aside from my occasional indulgence. but I'm going with the lamb Slovakia because I love lamb. Love lamb.
Lamb is what I had yesterday, and it is good. Okay, question number 3. What would you rather? Now, this one's tough because I absolutely, if you know me, you know I love monsters. You know I love creatures. You know I love big, strong, mammoth-looking things that will bite your face off or maybe swallow you in two. And I love movies. So I'm going to go with this. Which would you rather? And these are 2 of my favorite movies. Would you rather go with Jurassic Park or the original Jaws?
Oh,
it's tough, man. It's a tough one because the acting in Jaws is just incredible. You just have like that old grainy look in the 70s. It was the one that put fear in me. It's still, even today, if I watch Jaws and I sleep, my nightie, my pajamas is actually a Jaws shirt. So I try to face my fears every night, but every time I watch Jaws, I'm afraid to go in the ocean. But I love dinosaurs.
Don't forget about your onesie that you have either.
Yeah, don't forget about my onesie from Jess. I definitely love me some dinosaurs. For me, this is really hard, but the reality of it is I really enjoyed this classic movie, but I'm going to go with Jurassic Park. Nate, where are you going?
Danny, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Oh,
I got to go Jaws, dude. Got to go Jaws.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. I liked it. I like the way you segmented into that.
Hold on to your butts. I'm going with Jurassic Park.
Oh, come on. It's ridiculous.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
It's got to be the shark, guys.
Well,
you got to do
deal.
shark.
For me, it's a huge nostalgia factor. And I talk about this a lot on my podcast, how that can kind of gear your preferences.
Yeah.
But I was like 7 years old when that came out, maybe like 8. And that was one of the first horror movies I ever really saw. And it was just, it still stands the test of time, as does Jaws, another fantastic film. But that slight extra element of early special effects and more getting to see the dinosaurs more often. And hey, as little kids, we love dinosaurs. So,
yes, true to take, you need to see that. It's amazing. All right, going on to the next one. This one's really quick. This one, me and Tenacious Freak tend to hash out a lot over direct messages on Instagram. What would you prefer? We've had this one probably before, but it's always fun to bring back because this is the weekly beer and video review show. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you rather? Would you rather have an IPA or a Pilsner? For me, wow, this is tough. I love IPAs and I love Pilsners. I love beer. But if I had to only choose one, if I only had to pick one, it would definitely be an IPA. It's got more bang for the buck, and I like the little flavor. But as AJ alluded to earlier, you definitely don't want to play drinking games with an IPA. I'm still going with the IPA. Nate, where are you going, my man?
It depends. Do I want to be asleep at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or do I want to be awake? If I want to be awake, I'm going to go the Pilsner. I can probably drink about 12 of those. The IPAs, maybe 3, and it's donezo for me.
AJ, where are you going? By the way, Ginta says Nate wants to go window shopping in the red light district.
I'm going Pilsner.
Okay, you want to be awake. Nice. Okay, now the last one is usually a disgusting one. We're not bringing any sperm. We're not talking about blood or boogers. We're just talking about stuff that went on Eat It or Not. And guys, Frank had talked about it earlier. IP is really growing on me. Let it grow, my man. We have tons of good ones here in the United States. The next question is, which would you rather? Would you rather eat 43 1,000-year-old eggs? You saw Nate here earlier. You have to eat 43 of them. All right. Or, you guys, have you seen the show last week? What would you rather? Would you rather eat 15 bags of crickets? Ooh. Nate scoffs at that one. No problem.
No brainer.
For me, 43 eggs would be hard no matter what. And if they're buried for 1,000 years, no way. You might knock yourself out. Seriously. So as much as a lot of those insects would taste going down, I'm going to have to go with the 15 bags of crickets. Hey, damn TMD. Yeah. Nate, what are you going with?
You can move on. Crickets.
Crickets. Nice. AJ, what are you going with?
Easy. Crickets. I mean, the crunchiness of them, you can prepare them a whole bunch of different ways. Crickets.
Not even close.
Yeah.
You can't do one of the 1,000-year eggs. 43 is impossible.
I've had crickets. Crickets can actually be kind of cool and tasty.
Yeah, they're good. They can be good. If they're
Yeah,
fresh, you got them a little chili, a little bit of oil, they're good.
Precisely, my man. Exactly.
No, I have a test bunny for eating black eggs. It's called Nate. The funny thing is, this isn't an eating challenge. It's pretty much Nate's direction, however which way he wants to go, however he wants to go ahead and bring this show into light. He's willing and able to do it, but he's picking some tough ones, so I got to give it to him for that. Guys, next thing I want to talk about is the new episode that's coming out, and then we're going to crack the new beer. But the new show that's coming out, the new episode on the channel is Reading Man Dan. You know how it goes. It goes Reading Man Dan, Foodie Friday, and then the Travel Man Dan. And this is a lot of fun for me because not only is AJ the rabbit Ricciardi, and Nate showed you his rabbit, but look who's got a little rabbit himself. Ooh, on Easter. Look at that. Travel Man Dan, ladies and gentlemen, this is Valentino the Love Bunny.
And that's
Valentino the Love Bunny. This is the book I'm reading, and this is really cool because this is a friend of mine, okay? I was working a job, putting some trees down when I was talking to my client and his wife. And his wife said she is a child author, and she presented this book, and there's 3 books. I thought it'd be a great time to go ahead and bring this one because it's spring, because it's AJ the Rabbit. So next week's episode, next Friday, is Valentino the Love Bunny on Reading Man Dan. Give me some love, guys. We're about 65 subscribers away from 5,000. Wow. Can't believe it. It seems like just yesterday I just started chumming up this idea at the observatory. But, guys, that's what's going to be next week's episode. You're a crazy guy. Yeah, a little bit. But that's okay. Fantastic. Yes. Next beer is another beer from LA, shortly down the road from the last one, the Paperback Brewing. This is my favorite brewery here in Los Angeles, and that's the Golden Road. And we're going to be drinking the Wolf Pup Session IPA. Oh. Nice one, AJ.
Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and crack
back in.
Oh, I've been here since day one. Yes, you have. Guys, I just want to point this out. Greg Z is the OG. Like, of all, literally, Greg Z, Tenacious Freak, and Barrow were the only 3 people watching me for the first 15 shows.
We need to get a T-shirt. Greg Z, the OG.
Yeah, Greg Z, the OG. All right. Ginta, have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Great beer. All right, Frank says Greg Z is the OG. He is. And Tenacious Freak and Barrow. Let's go ahead and pour this in. I'm going to tell you, the smell, nothing too great. Nothing aromatic coming out of here. It's smelling like an IPA. But I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit lighter. As we can see, it is a little bit... All right, I got sound effects.
Silky smooth.
Oh, yeah. Take a look. Now, what a difference between the Hazy IPA and this one. This one more looks like a Pilsner. Now, the alcohol percentage is a 4.5, but it's a great brewery. You can see it's very well carbonated. Look at the bubbles. They're all trying to go to the top. I heard something's going on up in there in that little head of heaven. I don't know. Because there's nothing better to do. Oh, Greg, I'll take it. Peace, Ginta. Okay, look at this. All right, let's go ahead and drink this down.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Hey, AJ, are you still on the second one?
This is my second one, yeah.
Really tasty, guys. Nate, how many of you drank?
3.
Damn, son.
Nice. Okay, very good. Very good. This is, I got to be honest with you, this is becoming quite fun. Okay, 4.5, is that enough? I'm not really sure. Probably not. Going to Nate, he's become a fan favorite already. 3 shows in, he's an all-star. Let's take a closer look.
Oh,
I don't know what he did. A little wiggle and a drink. Awesome. Okay, yes, he gives me sound effects. He drinks. But going back to this Wolf Pup Session IPA, it's a little bit lighter than a normal IPA would taste. Okay, it doesn't have as strong, as fragrant, as repugnant, the hoppy taste to it. It's got a smooth flavor. And really, to be honest with you, this might be one that you want to bring to a volleyball game if you want to have 11 of them. This might be one you're going to bring to a beach and enjoy yourself. All right. So cheers, guys. Cheers, Freak. Aquanuts. Red Eye is in effect. He is an all-star. Yes, he is. Nate deserves a mug on the channel shop. Well, I think so. I think what I'll figure out for Nate is we'll do some other merchandising, maybe a plate or a fork or something. But yeah, we're going to definitely bring this. And but now, guys, I want to go to this day in history. If you guys want to hang with me, please do. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. But this day in history, on April 4th, 1789, the first U.S. Congress begins regular sessions during George Washington's presidency at Federal Hall in New York City. Now, that ended in 1791, but on this day in history, it was the first time Congress actually congregated. So that's pretty cool. They seem to be going strong. We don't know really what's going on inside that room, but on this day in history, it was the beginning. That's the line of the week, having 11 of them at a volleyball game. You know?
And let's not forget, George Washington was actually very hesitant to become the leader of the United States. And initially, when we first won the Revolutionary War, he turned down the opportunity to be the quote-unquote dictator of this new establishment. It wasn't until we created, our Constitution and everything else that he reluctantly ran for president.
Who the hell is that guy?
My father used to read the president's book when we were kids. At night, we'd go to my dad's house. He'd read us, and I have this. Wait, hold on, real quick. Just give me 1 second.
There he goes.
Apron and pot holders.
All right. That is the rabbit. Look at what he got.
He hop back over.
I've got the actual book because my dad and stepmom were purging their book collection, and I held on to this. Really?
Yep. I had the same book, dude. Same exact book.
Yeah, my dad used to read this to us when we were kids. My dad used to read we'd go, especially when we were young, we'd go to his house usually once a week during the week, and this was the kind of book he'd read to us before bed. So I love me some
before bed.
Yeah, we loved it.
That says facts. Great. All right, moving on this day in history. Maybe we should bring AJ on as the regular to do this day in history. But all right, moving on, number 2 on this day in history. On April 4th, 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization was signed. That's right, NATO was signed for the very first time. On this day in history, on April 4th, 1968, U.S. civil rights activist Martin Luther King is assassinated by James Earl Ray at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Very sad day in American history. All right, well, that's good for bed. No, you got
Frank,
this.
You got it, NATO.
Mario. Okay, Mario was one of my students. NATO. All right, moving on. This day in history. On this day in history, April 4th, 1973, the World Trade Center, the world's tallest building at the time, opens in New York City with 110 stories. It was later destroyed in the 9/11 attacks, and we all know about that. We're going super heavy on the American history. We're going super heavy on the 70s history. So yes, on this day in history, the World Trade Center has opened. Also on this day in history, on April 4th, 1974, Henry Aaron, okay, we always bring in a baseball one, ties Babe Ruth on opening day with a home run, recording his 714th home run.
Boo.
Ooh, who's who? Boo.
Boo.
He's a Brave, dude. I'm a Phillies fan. Boo.
Oh, come on. Like, sometimes individual supersedes the rivalry between teams, dog.
Maybe for you, not for me.
Oh, man. That's rough right there, Nate.
Gotta disagree, brother. Gotta disagree.
Ooh, man. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that either. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's move on. Hello, at Drunatic, says Mario. Thank you, Mario, for hopping on the show. Good to see you. What else do we? I like how you always bring a good selection. Oh, thanks, Frank. Yeah, we always got to bring it in there, But closing on the last one, I want to go ahead and tell you on this day in history, on April 4th, 1975, we're staying 70 strong. Microsoft is founding as a partnership between Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Wow. On this day in history. Pretty crazy, huh? We never knew, but now you know.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Hey, guys, if you're just hopping on, we are drinking Wolf Pup Session IPA. This is a delicious beer from Golden Road. It is a 4.5% alcohol. It is a nice IPA. It's got a clean taste to it, well carbonated, not a lot of complexity. When you drink it, you know what you're going to get. It's got a really refreshing taste. And let's go in for another sip. Oh, nice. Okay, it's got a weird little aftertaste to it. Not sure if I absolutely like it or if I absolutely unsure about it, but let's continue on. And that's now one of my favorite segments. What are you reading? What are you watching? I'm reading a really fun book that I enjoy, and going off of AJ's Discovery, The President's Book, I am reading one of my favorite books that I really like to go ahead because it reminds me of my days in college, and I'm talking about The Human Body.
Oh, nice.
This is a great book because it brings in, well, you got your digestive system. Hold on there, Piggy. Okay, and, well, it kind of brings in a lot of fun stuff. And I studied anatomy and kinesiology in college. My degree was in exercise science. So we used to go into the systems of the body and at their cellular division. And, well, it's pretty cool to kind of go ahead and reread a lot of this stuff because a lot of it, to be honest with you, I didn't know about. And then a lot of it, well, I actually forgot. And as I've become 20 years older since my days of studying, it's fun to go back in there and see how, well, when you see like degenerative discs and osteoporosis, how much different you realize and you take that in because you're older. When you're young and 20, you know, you're unstoppable, but a lot of fun. Lisa, can you borrow some glue to fix your broken thing? What? Oh, I don't know what that means. Days in college, yeah. But anyway, yes, this is what I'm reading. Nate, what are you reading, bud?
I'm reading some very high-level, highbrow comedy from Peppa the Pig.
Ooh.
Peppa Pig. Very nice. All right. Oink, oink. He's got the 1-year-old. Very cool. AJ, what do you got, buddy?
I actually wasn't prepared for this, so real quick, what I grabbed in theme with yours, Danny, is one of my all-time favorite training books, and Bruce Lee inspired. This is The Art of Expressing the Human Body, Bruce Lee, as written by John Little, Bruce Lee historian, fantastic person. What he did is he put together a fitness book based around Bruce Lee's training regimen. So he did years of research, talked to a bunch of his students and training partners, and he actually put together a lot of the workout routines Bruce used to do. You can like see right here. And this was very influential for me in my fitness training. He was light ages ahead of his time when it came to functional training, cross training, and sports-specific training. So The Art of Expressing the Human Body, one of the greatest fitness books you can buy, and you can see how ahead of his time Bruce Lee was. And it's also got history about how he got to that point.
I remember when that book came out at the bookstore in Shanghai.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right, moving on. What are you watching? I'm watching a fun new show. I got away from the Longmire. I really like the whole Wyoming cop stuff. And
fantastic show, by the way. I love Longmire.
Yeah, Longmire is good.
Yes.
But I've gotten into another show, and it's called The Age of the Samurai: The Battle for Japan. It's one of those mini documentary series that's out there. It's really informative. It kind of teaches you a little bit about Japanese culture and the ancient samurai. And, well, I only started it. The Serpent. I saw The Serpent, and I almost watched that, but I went with The Age of Samurai. It's pretty good. I'll let you know more about it next week as I dive into it. I started watching the first episode, and I'm enjoying it. Nate, are you watching anything these days? Do you have time with the newborn and eating all them eggs?
I watched the Travel Man Dan weekly beer review show.
What? Nice.
Yeah, I love that guy, dude. Hey, I gotta say, one of the cool things about that is the way you went, what? You spun out of it. I don't know if you planned to do that or not, but it looked really awesome. What are you watching, AJ?
Well, actually, so a brand new show that's first episode just premiered this week, Law and Order: Organized Crime. Stabler is back, baby. Elliot Stabler from Law & Order SVU is back with his own TV show. Watch the first episode. I really liked it, but I'm on the fence on how it's going to progress. It could go either way. It's like I had this feeling that it might go that CSI route, which I really hope it doesn't, because it's kind of hinted at some elements of that. But it also looks like it may go this really dark, vengeful route, which I'm hoping it does. So, yes, exactly. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. I love Christopher Maloney, the actor who plays Elliot Stabler. Super happy to have him back in that role. And in the crossover episode they did with Law & Order SVU that led into the premiere episode of his new show, he is still phenomenal in the role.
Right. I'll look for that. I definitely like that, and I'm happy that he's back. One thing I will like to say is, as you can see, my friend that I grew up with, Michael Ferrari. Good to see you, Mike.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Everyone give Mike a warm welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by, checking out the show. We're going to go ahead and slam this second beer. I'm going to go ahead and score it, tell you what I think, and then we're going to drop out of the show with the quote of the week. Is Nate with us, or did Nate drop out? I'm not really sure. Nate, he's still with us. But anyway, let's go ahead. This is what we're drinking. Is the Wolf Pup Session IPA from Golden Road. It is absolutely delicious. First sip was good. Second one was And now let's go ahead and finish off, and I'll give it a score. Okay. Now, if you're wondering, I always put emphasis really strong on the first beer that we go ahead and review. So if you're wondering, but that's why, and also the beginning of the show, we go through a lot of development, and I always drink the bigger the beer, the more volume. And so if you're wondering why we do this one quickly, it's just so that we can go ahead and round it out. But there's a method to this madness, and now I'm going to go ahead and score it. Taste, I think that, well, keeping up with a lot of the Golden Road, I think it is an excellent taste. It's got a lot of flavor going on it. You don't taste a lot of hops, but you do taste just a really good down-home beer. And that's why I'm going to give it a score of a 3.5. Are you guys drinking anything new, or am I running through this myself? AJ, you look like...
Mine's mean what I'm drinking right now, or like in general?
No, if you're drinking a second beer, I'll do this on myself.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm drinking my second one, the Heffenweisen. So this is the local brewery's Heffenweisen, which I'm in love with now. And it's very, very good. It's not as high a percentage. This one's only 5.1 as compared to my IPA that they had, which was 7.2. But, so that's 7.2 for the first one. This current one is 5.1. But it's just, the taste is fantastic, and I'm loving it.
Okay. Well, why don't we do this for the sake of the show so that we run smoother? I'm going to go ahead and score this down. I'll ask you for a straight score at the end. So hang with me. I'm not going to cut into each one. But now we're going to go to the price. The price, like I said, I bought this in a 12-pack before. It was one of those variety packs where you get 3 different flavors but 4 cans of each for $9.99. So not bad. I don't know the math, but it's pretty cheap. Nate, what do you got? You're pretty good with that.
What's that?
If I have 12 beers at $9.99, how much per one beer?
I don't know, $1.75 or something like that.
We'll take it. I think the price is good. I think the can is good. I love Golden Road. When I've been there, and I believe I've drank this one off of their taps. It's a little more expensive, but I think the price point is really good. I think it's average, and I think it's okay to ask for $1.75 a can. That's why I'm going to go ahead and give it a standard of a 3.5. Now, the design. Let's go for the design. I like huskies. I love dogs, but I love wolves. Now, am I a wolf guy? Not really. I think they're cool. I think they're out there. I think it's cool that it's kind of like, oh, AJ, you do it really good. Can you give us the wolf howl?
Thank you.
He's really good, man. He's really good. I'm telling you. Okay, so, other than that, I think it's cool that you have like LA in the background, whatever. Yeah, you can see LA and the sun and all that, but nothing overwhelming. We'll give the design a score of a 3.0. Accessibility, you're not going to find this beer a lot of places outside of California. Maybe Arizona, maybe Nevada, but after that, that's it. You're going to find it in Florida or Nebraska? Probably not. Look at his voice talent. He's very talented, Frank. Trust me. AJ's got a lot of good voices. AJ, can you give us your Cleveland voice? Give
Oh
me
my
some
gosh,
Cleveland.
I haven't done that in years. I haven't watched Family Guy in years. All right.
It's so good.
When's it gonna be my turn? I haven't done that one forever. I need to catch up on some Family Guy.
I'm telling you guys, you may have known him as a kickboxer on the show. You may follow him as the Martial Arts Mania podcast, but don't be surprised at some point in your life that you see AJ pop up as a voiceover, because AJ
See you soon.
see, AJ's great with all the voices because he can do the voices. For me, they're just gonna hire me because my voice is a lawnmower, and you know, they can match it to a Muppet. They can instantly plug into a Muppet. But anyway, accessibility not very good. This is what keeps hurting the beers. We're gonna stay on par with what's been hurting the beers, and we're gonna give it a 2.5. Spot on, yes, Aquanuts, fantastic. Okay, yes, AJ's really good at that. I'm telling you, if you saw Cleveland, AJ could do it. And the TMD X Factor. Other than the fact that it's here in Los Angeles and it's my favorite brewery, I'm going to give it a high score. But other than that, there's nothing really that pizzazzes me or wows me with this one. So for the TMD Factor, although I love Golden Road, I think they got some delicious beers. I'm going to have to give it a moderate score of a 3.5. My voice is a lawnmower in the second quarter of the week. Well,
excellent, Frank.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tally this up, but I'm going to bring on Nate real quick, and maybe he can preview next week's Eat It or Not.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, guys, but super excited to have you guys for the 4th episode of Eat It or Not, where I will bring you to the verdict of Eat It or Not.
Okay, Nate, thank you. Thank you so much. We look forward to whatever it is. Guys, let me know down in the comments below how much you're loving the Eat It or Not segment. I mean, isn't it fantastic? We had haggis, we had bugs, we had that stinky, smelly egg that even Cindy wasn't keen to. But we're looking forward to it, Nate. And, whatever it is, it's not just a food challenge. Whatever this man brings to the show should be fun. It could be something delicious. It could be something ranchous. Ranchous? What was I trying to say? Raunchy, yeah. But whatever it is, it's still going to be fun. Now, here's
if you guys put it in the comments section, I will try to eat those things on the show as well. So you guys, the more you put down there, I will write them all down and I will get to them.
What would you like to see eaten? Okay, I definitely did not spell. Okay, great, and looking forward to the rabbit meat challenge. Ooh, they want to eat. Frank wants us to eat AJ.
No chance, baby. No chance. That double hook, you're not getting past that.
He throws a couple of quick hooks in a feint. Very cool. Frank, I don't know if we're going to get him, man. He's the rabbit, dude.
He's the rabbit.
Rancid, yes. That's what I want to say. Rancid, okay. What would you like to see? Okay, lutefish. Although, I will say this. I will say the other day, what was it? Yesterday. Yesterday I was in the grocery store, Nate, and I was looking at gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish.
Alligator.
The Jewish delicacy?
Yeah, I've seen it in the bottle, and it didn't look right, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's a surprise. Wolf Pup Session IPA scores a 16. Okay, so it registers as a good beer. It's a 16. 16 is the par, the flat line, okay? What we got to get to. Very nice. Enjoyed this beer. Thought it was well received. Really liked the brewery. Now it's time to go into the quote of the week, okay? Lutefish is not that bad, says the Norwegian.
Right.
Hey, Martin! Welcome, my man. Oh, this one, Stirs is Stronging. I don't know what this Stirs is Stronging is. That's
probably a fish.
That's the one that Tenacious Freak sent me of those guys in Texas. And they were opening the can from like 10 feet away and they were throwing up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm Googling it right now. Surströmming.
Yeah, Surströmming is supposed to be, if prepared properly. Jen's You're always good with me, brother. Hi, Martin. So Martin is the man. He is the one that gave me the Jim Kelly autographed jersey. But guys, wait, hold on, Nate. Let me pull that up. What do you got there?
That's surströmming right there.
Oh, it's a canned fish.
Anytime
it's Sweden's stinkiest food. I'm all over it. I'm going to do this in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it to the office. No.
Bring it to the office and microwave it around lunchtime.
Yeah. We need to get Nate something great. Yeah, he can do something nice. He can do a lutefisk, right? Herring. All right. Well, whatever it is, we look forward to next week. Guys, now I want to go ahead and end this with the weekly quote. And this was brought to us by the famous silent actor Charlie Chaplin. And Charlie Chaplin said this. He said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." And I think that's so prevalent and it just means so much to me on a day like this, because I got not only the show going on with people from all over the world, and we're laughing at what's going on, what's being done on the show. It's so important in your life, but we're also laughing with two of my very close friends, and that for me it's invaluable. Okay, to go ahead and be able to provide value to you guys and have an entertaining show where one of my friends talks about all the endeavors they did and introduces his podcast and brings in some funny whip quotes and all kinds of good stuff is great. And we absolutely loved having AJ. And then to have Nate go ahead and eat a 1,000-year egg. And it was the stinkiest shit in the world. And he almost threw up. Okay. That to me is always fun and fun, full of laughter. And this year has been it's been tedious. It's been treacherous on people. Well, it's even been fatal and it's been hard. But try not to dwell on that. Try to find something in your day that allows you to laugh, allows you to really just bring that element of your soul. And I don't mean to get too whimsical. I don't want to be too weird about that kind of stuff. But laughter is so simple and it's so easy to attain. And a day without it is a day wasted, just like Charlie Chaplin said. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this show. I hope that you had fun with Nate. Nate, go ahead and do you have anything to say before we leave this great episode? We've gone almost 2 hours where I thought we were going to go an hour and a half. It's still been worth it.
No, it was a lot of fun. Anytime we're able to do this and we get to bring a person on of AJ's caliber and his ability to kind of give us a lot of stories compacted into about 10 minutes. It's awesome. Glad to be a part of it. AJ, super happy to have you here, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
AJ, any parting words before we take off?
I just had so much fun doing this. Thank you. I hope I can come back in some capacity, even if I can do a weekly thing like Nate does. This has just been so much fun. So great to see you guys. Such a significant part of my life the two of you have been, just because of the adventures we've been through. Anybody wants to reach out to me, the Martial Arts Mania podcast on Instagram. I'm very active on there, so you feel free to message me. Listen to the podcast if you want, and please reach out. Thank you so much for doing the show, Danny. This was so much fun.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you so much for hopping on. We will definitely be bringing you back on in some capacity. You will be a part of the show again. Thank you so much as we see each and every one of you guys out here presenting all the love to us, bringing us all these comments, giving us the encouragement, the positivity, the optimistic viewpoint from your point that we were able to come here and entertain you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nate, for hopping on and eating them disgusting eggs. Whether you go and breathe or whether you fart in the same room with Cindy, I hope you have fun. I'm sure it's going to stink. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, AJ. I'm Travel Man Dan. Remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Peace.
Calvin. Oyster dinner. Oh, that's awesome.